Hi, are you waking up at 2 a.m., struggling to fall asleep, looking at the ceiling, trying to figure out what's next? If you're over 50 and you're struggling to get deep, restful sleep, this video is for you. I'm Kwavi, I'm 57 years old, and I'm going to be breaking down to you what happens to women over 50 that affects their sleep and ways to improve your sleep without pills. You don't want to miss this. Before we begin, let me know in the comments what time do you typically wake up in the night and find it difficult to go back to sleep? So let's talk about the culprits responsible for our sleep disruption. Progesterone and estrogen both start to decline as we get older. Normally starts around 40s or 50s. Now with estrogen has this calming effect on the brain. And so when estrogen dips, we notice that all of a sudden we're either experiencing hot flashes or night sweats. And with night sweats, as the name suggests, it happens at night. You wake up because you're really cold, because you feel sweaty, and then sometimes it's hard to fall back asleep. In some cases, I know this has happened to me where my whole bed is soaked because I'm sweating so much. And then I wake up because I'm feeling cold from the sweat. And I have to wake up and change the sheets. And after doing that, you're so tired. You can't even, it's just your sleep has been disrupted. And it's really hard to try and fall back asleep at 2 or 3 a.m. after that has happened. And I'm sure some of you listening to this have experienced this. Progesterone, on the other hand, is your natural sleep aid. It promotes relaxation, it helps you feel calm and relaxed. Now, when estrogen starts to drop, you lose that. So, in other words, you find it hard to fall asleep and then you find it hard to stay asleep. Progesterone was responsible for helping you stay asleep and stay asleep. And now that there's a decline, none of those things are happening. The other culprit in all of this is cortisol. Now, cortisol is a stress hormone. I don't know if you've experienced this. I remember one of the very early on when I started experiencing perimenopause, I'd woken up in the middle of the night and I thought I was going to die. My heart was racing. I'm like, what is happening to me? And you know what it was? I found out later on that it was cortisol. Cortisol is like you feel like something is wrong. But this is because estrogen has declined. And estrogen normally helps to regulate your cortisol. And so when you no longer have that or it's declining, your ability to regulate your cortisol weakens. You're no longer able to do that. So it's like all of a sudden you're like in the middle of the night, you feel wired. You're ready to start doing something. Like you're full mode. Like, okay, let's do this. It's because your cortisol is no longer being regulated in the way it used to be, because estrogen that's in control of that has now declined or is no longer in existence. Let's talk about a few other things that can also disrupt our sleep. First one is night sweats. I talked about that earlier, where all of a sudden you're hot and then you're sweating and it just disrupts your sleep. The other thing is frequent bathroom breaks. It's like you're going to the bathroom constantly. And even just getting up, sometimes getting up to do that, you come back and it's hard to fall asleep. The other one is restless leg syndrome. That's another one that happens a lot, and disrupts our sleep. And then the final one is just with the hormonal shift. We've noticed sometimes you can notice that you don't sleep as deeply. And so any little thing, you just wake up. Yeah, those are some of the things that can affect our sleep. But we're going to also talk about things that we can do to improve our sleep at this age. All right, so the first natural remedy that has helped me is no screen time an hour to an hour and a half before bedtime. It's like, no. And that includes your phone. Yes, I'm sure some of you are like, no, yes, your phone. No screen time, no TV, no iPhone, no iPad, nothing with a screen on it. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. Like just deciding no more screen time. What I've done also, I do the do not disturb, 9 p.m. Do not actually my do not disturb starts really early. I took off the do not disturb, so even if calls come through, it goes straight to my do not disturb box. So don't even not even aware of it. That has helped me. And then something else I've done, if I'd rather than, since I'm not watching anything, I like to read. And lately I've been reading a lot of romance novels. I also read like a lot of self-help books, but I don't do them an hour before bedtime. I do that during the daytime, like during, I set times for that. But like an hour before bed, I'm going to read something really light, like one of my romance novels. I'm going to read something like that. And then I like to journal. That has helped me because it's like you're almost like just flushing out your brain of all the day's activities. You're putting everything out, taking everything out. Like it's almost like you're doing a brain dump. So that has been really helpful. Um, because you want to find ways to kind of calm yourself down before you go to bed. You don't want to find ways that's going to make you feel more energized. You want to kind of decompress. And so these are some of the ways that I have found that have helped me get a good night's rest. Number two, I found this out after my observation in hotels. So I noticed that whenever I went to a hotel, I would not experience night sweats. I would sleep so peacefully. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why is that when I go to a hotel room, um, I would sleep so peacefully? Temperature. It's the temperature. Typically, hotels will set their temperature to 65 to 67. And quite frankly, that is kind of cold. But for sleeping, it's the best thing ever. Your body wants to drop to at least 1 to 2 degrees lower in order for it to get restful sleep. So yeah, that's the key. So actually dropping it down will allow you to like sleep peacefully. And so that's what you need to do. Try that in your home. Drop it down. And I know maybe for some of you, 65 to 67 might be a bit too drastic, but I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. And what I have done now is I will use like a cooling blanket. There's one I've used, and it's so interesting. I started using it maybe almost 2 years ago. It's called Evercool. Love it. It, like when I first put it on, I kind of feel like cold, but I put it on and it feels so good after that. It's like your body kind of adjusts to the temperature of it. I haven't had a night sweat using that comforter. I'm sorry, serious. It's called Evercool. Haven't had none whatsoever. So that has helped. And like I said, the temperature, getting the comforter, and just making sure your body is cool. And maybe even taking a shower. I know that has helped me. Whenever I take a shower before I go to bed, I don't do it all the time, but when I do, I sleep peacefully. So you can try any of these. Now, I know that even when you try all of these, you might still be waking up. And if that does happen, I want you to create some kind of routine for when you do wake up. Don't panic or get anxious because that activates cortisol. And so that's going to get you into that cycle of, oh, something's wrong. And then you won't be able to fall asleep. So if you create a routine that you're used to, so your body's kind of like, oh, I'm awake, but I have this routine. I'm going to do this right now. So have a routine for, if you do wake up, like what would you do? One of the things you can do is you can have a journal by your bedside that you can just write in. You can have a book that doesn't stimulate you because you don't want to get activated like, oh, no, you want something calming. So that's one idea. So, having a book by your bedside, having a journal so that you can use that to like write things down. And possibly you can, just maybe you want something to drink, have some water, maybe sip some tea. And another thing that I've found helpful is having some breathing exercises on hand for when you do wake up so that you can use that to kind of calm your nervous system. Makes a big difference. You could also try herbal teas and oils. For instance, passion flower and chamomile are good ones to try that kind of give that calming effect. You could also use a sleep mist. One of the things I tried a sleep mist, but it had lavender and cedarwood in it, and I sprayed it on my pillow, and it kind of I got into that routine. So it's almost like once I smell that, it's like, okay, body, it's time for us to slow down. You can try that with lavender, put maybe some drops of lavender oil on your pillow just to try it out. But you can create routines like this using oils that are known to kind of have that calming effect on the body and help you stay asleep. The next option is nervous system rituals. So there are methods or things you can do to kind of help calm your nervous system down. One of the ones is maybe doing some kind of gentle yoga before you go to bed or stretching. Like I like to do that. Like the stretching thing, I love to do that before I go to bed. It kind of calms me down, it gets me ready for bed. The other one is you can, do a meditation before you go to bed. Like there are all kinds of, and you can even do some searches for this. There are some types of medication, meditation, not medication, meditation dictate that is designed to help you calm down and get ready for bedtime. So do that. That's one option. And this other method I don't use, but my husband swears by it. There are certain types of music that just put you into that sleep mode. He swears by it. It's like he listens to the music, the next thing, he's out. So those are some things that you can try to help you get deep, restful sleep. You can also try herbal teas and oils. For instance, passion flower and chamomile are good ones to try that kind of give that calming effect. You could also use a sleep mist. One of the things I tried a sleep mist, but it had lavender and cedarwood in it, and I sprayed it on my pillow, and it kind of I got into that routine. So it's almost like once I smell that, it's like, okay, body, it's time for us to slow down. You can try that with lavender, put maybe some drops of lavender oil on your pillow just to try it out. But you can create routines like this using oils that are known to kind of have that calming effect on the body and help you stay asleep. The next option is nervous system rituals. So there are methods or things you can do to kind of help calm your nervous system down. One of the ones is maybe doing some kind of gentle yoga before you go to bed or stretching. Like I like to do that. Like the stretching thing, I love to do that before I go to bed. It kind of calms me down, it gets me ready for bed. The other one is you can, do a meditation before you go to bed. Like there are all kinds of, and you can even do some searches for this. There are some types of medication, meditation, not medication, meditation dictate that is designed to help you calm down and get ready for bedtime. So do that. That's one option. And this other method I don't use, but my husband swears by it. There are certain types of music that just put you into that sleep mode. He swears by it. It's like he listens to the music, the next thing, he's out. So those are some things that you can try to help you get deep, restful sleep. And if you're like me, you just want natural ways where you can rest and not feel groggy. Because I've spoken with my clients, and sometimes some of these medications out there, they might make you fall asleep, but you wake up feeling out of sorts, like you feel different. And a lot of them, might not work for you. Like sleeping tablets might work for some people and not for others. And so even if you do just try to go that option, be really careful and make sure that it's working for you. But I would suggest and encourage you to try one of these natural remedies first and see how it works. Because I've tried them, a lot of my clients have tried them. And like I said, my husband does the music one, and he has found relief. And I know that what you're looking for is a way for you to just be able to go to sleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling refreshed. And I know that if you try one of these, more than likely one or a combination of some will help you. So please try it out. Let me know, like, which one are you going to try out tonight? Like, tell me. I'd love to know in the comments. Now let's talk about some other hidden issues that are not very common, but could be disrupting your sleep, even when you have the sleep routine down, you are relaxing, you've done the no screen time, you're taking your calming tea, you're taking a nice warm bath, the temperature in your bedroom is, between 65 and 67, but you're still finding that you're not getting you still don't feel rested, it might be one of these. First thing you should probably take a look at is iron. So you might be doing, remember, like I said, you might be doing all these different things, but even after 8 hours of sleep, you're still exhausted. Your iron levels need to be checked. And if you notice that early in the morning, especially you get like early morning headaches, that could also be a symptom that, your iron is low. So I would suggest speaking to your doctor and finding out, just letting them know that you're letting them know that, I'm not getting enough sleep. Can I get my iron levels checked? And this is the thing, as women in our 50s and over, we need to advocate for ourselves. We don't do that enough. We just think, oh, that's normal. It's not normal. There are options available. There are solutions available to help you. And so please don't think, oh, you know what, I'm not sleeping anymore. That's, because I'm getting older. No, get your health checked. So go and speak to your physician and find out if your iron levels are where they need to be. Sleep apnea is another one. And I know you're probably thinking sleep apnea, that's for men, older men in the recliner, snoring. No. It could happen. It happens a lot to women in menopause. And so speak to your doctor about it and let them know that you're wondering, is that an issue for you? Let them do a sleep study, and clarify that. I can't emphasize enough. We need to advocate for ourselves. It's not enough for you to go to the doctor and they say, oh, no, you'll be okay. If you know, and I know you know that voice inside of you telling you, oh, there's a bit more, don't dismiss it. Seek a second opinion if needed. Please do. Because this is the thing. When estrogen and progesterone start to decline, they affect us in so many different ways. So don't ignore those symptoms that you feel different, but you're not sure because no one else is experiencing it, or if you've never heard of it. It doesn't matter. Address it with your doctor and get it taken care of. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a health tool that is needed by women in their 50s and beyond. You deserve sleep. It's time for you to start prioritizing that. Now that we're in midlife, we deserve deep, restful sleep. And if you're not getting that, please try one of the options I have given in this video. And midlife shouldn't consist of you just tossing and turning and waking up feeling tired and just doing that over and over again. You deserve to have deep, restful sleep. You deserve it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, or you're like, oh, I'll be okay. No, sleep is necessary. As we evolve, as we enter this chapter, sleep is a critical part of our growth. And if you're not getting enough sleep, it's your body telling you that it's not working. It's your body's signal to you. It's telling you, you need to make a change. You need to do something differently. Get the help that you need. So try one of the tips I've mentioned. It could be, journaling, maybe doing the do not disturb, maybe drinking chamomile tea. Try one and let me know which one works for you. And it might be a combination of different ones. Let me know in the comments. And if this video helped you, press like, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell for more aging boldly tips like this. You're not done, you're just getting started.